That's it, GameStop. I'm throwing the gauntlet down. You need to come out. You need to make a statement. You need to tell the public, are we competing with you like some sort of dumb Hunger Games for retro cartridges? Or do we get to actually buy the things represented in your inventory? GameStop has done up again. Hey folks, it's Doug. Today we're going to talk about my reaction to a video that was posted last night as of the time we're taping this by one of the coolest YouTubers in the video game collecting space, Ahmer. Ahmer, if you have not consumed her content or gone to check her out or subscribe, highly recommend you do so. Like I said, she is one of the pillars of the community, has been at this for a long time, has an amazing collection, and is just generally a great YouTube gaming content creator. So I was happy to see a notification yesterday that she posted a new video, but my joy quickly turned to anger when I understood what the subject of her video was. She went to her local GameStop shopping for the retro games, as she typically does, and as we all like to do these days. One of the things you always do when you're going to look at the retro games is ask to see any games in the drawers behind the counter, because some of that stuff can't be put out for fear of theft issues. Long story short, among other things, she is presented with and handed a complete in-box copy of Super Mario Land for the original Game Boy, and boy oh boy, that would have been a heck of a deal considering that GameStop prices their retro games based on the loose copies and not complete in box, and if you happen to get the box and manual, it's kind of a free bonus. She, as you would imagine, immediately said, hey, I'll take it, I'm interested in purchasing it, at which point the employee behind the counter amazingly then took the game out of her hand and said, you know, on second thought, I think I might want to buy this. And Ahmer's like, well, are you going to buy it or you're not going to buy it, because I'm ready to buy it? And when she was then told, well, come back another day, and if I decide I'm not going to buy it for myself, you can have it. At the end of the day, that's the story here, is that she was presented with a game, which would have been a fantastic deal, and then the employee, realizing that it was a good deal, maybe too good of a deal, decided to try and pull ranks and take the game back for herself to purchase, presumably to exercise a little arbitrage there, perhaps a little profit opportunity. Now, here's the thing. This is not an isolated incident. This is bigger than just this one recollection. After Ahmer posted her video, a few hours later, another YouTuber who I enjoy watching, Y2K Collector, posted kind of a response video in which he detailed a number of instances where he was given some pushback, not as direct as Ahmer's recollection, but definitely encountered some GameStop employees that really didn't want him to get some good retro game deals, and went into some good level of detail with his experiences. And it got me to thinking, not too long ago, I had ordered a couple of pretty banger games, if you will, from GameStop's retro section. And what happens with a lot of that stuff is it ends up being sent to a GameStop store that has the game and is told, okay, this person bought it, please send it to them. And I realize now that there were a couple of times when I bought something that it was an amazing deal, only to find out about an hour or two after submitting my payment that the order was mysteriously canceled. So I think that there is certainly some compelling circumstantial evidence from a number of folks here that GameStop is doing some dirty dealings in terms of competing with its own customers for really good deals on retro games. And that's where I really get a bee in my bonnet, and I'm starting to get, quite frankly, pissed off just thinking about it. I thought that I had been pretty even-handed with GameStop, particularly when covering their latest foray into retro gaming over the last set of months, but this is, quite frankly, to me, unacceptable. We go to a game store, we go to a yard sale, we go to an estate sale, we go to a swap meet to get good games, and maybe even, some good deals from time to time. But what we don't do is go to any one of these venues expecting that by the time we get there, 100 other people have cherry-picked all the good stuff, leaving us with junk. If I wanted that experience, I'd go to a yard sale at noon. GameStop is apparently tolerating or allowing their employees to cherry-pick the really cool things that come in the retro category and not allowing their customers to have the opportunity to purchase it. Now, you might give me some pushback here and say, well, there is perhaps a GameStop policy that allows their employees first dibs on new inventory, but that's the key word, new inventory. If you look at Gamer Ahmer's example specifically, and she mentions this, the particular game, the Super Mario Land, had on its price sticker the indicator that it entered store inventory at the end of September, and this incident happened earlier in November. So that employee can't claim that they were in bounds with the employees get first dibs category, because that's clearly been sitting there in their drawer for a month plus. If a customer finds a great deal on a game, they should be able to buy it, full stop. This was not a local retro store. That employee wasn't a store owner showing like some cool thing that they found and they're not sure if it's going to be a display piece or for sale. This was an employee, a rank and file employee at a GameStop. They don't own the chain. They don't get to decide whether or not a customer is allowed to purchase the product. If it's there, it's inventory, it's inbounds. If you walk in and you want to buy it, there is no conversation here. It's available inventory. You get to buy it. And for a GameStop employee to sit here and say, oh, whoa, I could probably make $50 flipping this on eBay, piss off. No, completely unacceptable behavior. And this is the point in the video where I think we have to take a stand. GameStop absolutely must respond to this issue because we now have documented evidence. GameStop needs to clarify in the public forum the following. What is your policy for your employees cherry picking your own store's inventory? Is it allowed for a GameStop employee to discover that there's been something really cool in the store inventory for a month and snatch it out of a customer's hands and take it for themselves? GameStop needs to be forced to go on the record and tell us if they think that that's cool or not. And if that's not cool, we need to understand what are the ramifications here, what is the restitution that's going to be made to prevent this from happening over and over again. Because let me tell you something, GameStop, you've been at this for a long time. Bashing my shoe on the... I'm so angry about this. You had multiple chances to get this right, GameStop. You it up time and time again, from taking in ridiculous bootleg cartridges, just passing them along and selling them. You sold me a Bubble Bobble 2 with a label that was printed on an inkjet printer, you dumb bastards. Go look it up on the Pat the NES video. He got the receipts about it. You sold me an F-15 Strike Eagle that was called Bubble Bobble 2, and I had to cancel my Zumba class that afternoon to bring it back to your brick and mortar to get my $200 back. You know what? My thighs don't get themselves thin by themselves, man. I'm old, I'm fat, I need all the time I need to my personal hygiene. And that was bullshit then, it's bullshit now, and I don't think that you should just be allowed to skate and saying, oh, it was just one time. No, that's it, GameStop. I'm throwing the gauntlet down. You need to come out, you need to make a statement, you need to tell the public, are we competing with you like some sort of dumb Hunger Games for retro cartridges, or do we get to actually buy the things represented in your inventory? I look forward to GameStop in due time responding to our concerns and addressing this policy. And boy, oh boy, I'm sure it'll be a banger. Folks, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time on It's All Doug in Games.